We are not going to waste time. Okay, today we are going to look at liquidity. We are going to look at liquidity. So when you say liquidity, liquidity simply means it simply means money, right? When you say liquidity, it's money, right? And it's money because liquidity it taking a lot of stop losses before its own original direction, right? Liquidity simply means money, and it's money because it takes a lot of stop losses before its own original direction. And then we have types of liquidity. We have buy side liquidity and then sell side liquidity. Buy side liquidity is whereby price will be what? Like price will be basing on what? High before what? Down move. And then sell side basing on the lows before the up move. So we have examples of liquidity, which is we first have equal prices, right? The top one is buy side liquidity, which is equal highs, right? So what the liquidity means is that so if price is consolidating, and also some price like this, we don't want to see ourselves trading, right? So what you do is that when price is consolidating around this area, which is equal prices, and then it takes some liquidity. What you do is that when price is consolidating, if price will break up, if price will go up, what you do is that it will first push up, break up from the upside, which is because what the psychology behind this thing is that people were selling around this area, right? They are selling here, whereby they have stop losses above that area. They are selling around this area, right? They will take a sell trade around here. They will sell here. They will sell here, right? And they will buy here. They will buy here. Hope you are getting me. They will buy here. So if they sell here, their stop loss is what? Above their zones here. So what you do is that price or what eventually push to the upside, hitting all the stop losses around this area before it will what? It will move to the downside, hitting all the stop loss because people are also what? Buying here. So it will push to the downside, taking all the stop losses around this area before what? A strong move to the upside. This is because when price break out from the first high, meaning that price will push to the upside. Hope you are getting it. When price take liquidity, first it take liquidity from the upside, meaning that it is going to take liquidity from downside and push to the upside. So the psychology behind is that it's going to take stop losses because stop losses are below here, stop losses are below here. So it's going to push to the upside and taking all the stop losses before what? The its own original direction. So if you are in an uptrend, this is how it will do. I hope you are getting me. And then we have what? And buy side liquidity, which is a double top, right? So this double top here, price or what? People are what? Selling here. They are selling here. People are what? People are selling here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will sell whenever there's a double top. People will start selling at the second leg, right? So what you do is that price will eventually what? Because if they sell here, stop loss is what above here. Price will eventually push to the upside before what? Down move to take the stop losses around this area before the down move. And then we have buy side. Sorry, this is sell side liquidity. Yeah, it says side liquidity. Please try to mute yourself to avoid background. This says side liquidity. So what is doing that is the same thing happening, a double bottom. Price or what eventually takes the stop losses here before what? The up move. Before the up move, right? It will eventually take the stop losses because when they are selling, when they are buying here, their stop loss is what? Below the keys level here. So price will eventually went to the back, the downside to take the stop losses before what? The up move. And then we have buy side liquidity, which is downtrend. We may going to see something like lower lows and lower highs, whereby price is what? Pushing to the downside. So it will, people are hot. We have some people who are selling here, they are selling here, they are selling here. So their stop losses is what? Above this key level. So price will eventually push to the upside, taking all the stop losses before the down move. I hope you are getting me. And then we have sell side liquidity, which is what? Uptrend. We have some people who are what? Selling here. And the same way, we have some people who are what? Also selling here. They are selling here. And we have some people who are what? Buying here. So the psychology is that price will eventually break up from the upside before it will break down before what? The up move, right? So let's try to look at examples from the main chart. Let's try to see if we can get examples from the main chart. Let's try to see if you can get examples from the main chart. Let's go to gold. Yeah. When we come to gold, we can see that we have this thing here, equal lows, right? We have this equal lows here. Price eventually what? Push to the downside, collect some stop losses, which is liquidity. For people who are buying here, whereby their stop losses is what? Below this key level. You can clearly see that price eventually fell because equal lows, we have price were what? We have sell side, buy side liquidity also here, whereby price eventually push to the upside. And also the more there's one thing we need to note. The more the liquidity, the more the up move, the more the money. Hope you are getting me, because looking at this place, we see that liquidity is very long, right? So price eventually pushed to the upside, taking stop losses above here before what? It pushed to the downside, taking stop losses below here, right? Before the up move again, right? So this is what? Equal lows for what? Equal and then equal lows and equal highs for what? Liquidity. Price take all the liquidity before the up move. And then we have uptrend liquidity. You will see that price were what? Moving here. Price were moving a high, a low, a high, and then it eventually what? collect, people are buying here, their stop loss is below. So we have some people who are going to buy here as soon as the trend line touch. So unfortunately, price breakout, taking their stop losses, and then before the up move. I hope you are getting me. And then this is what the uptrend for liquidity. We have a double top liquidity. Price were what? Pushing, price moving to the downside, right? People are hot, selling here, their stop losses are above here. Price eventually pushed to the upside, taking the stop losses here before what? The down move, right? And then we have another example. Let's see if we can get, we have downtrend. This is the downtrend liquidity. People are selling here. We have some people who are selling here. They are selling here. They are selling here. Price eventually pushed to the upside before what? The down move. It takes the liquidity around here. And then let's see if we can get another example. Yeah, this is what of equal prices, right? Price were pushing equal prices here. We have some people who are buying here. They are buying here. They are buying here. They are buying here. Price eventually break out, taking liquidity before what? The up move, right? So when you say liquidity, liquidity is just a money. It's money because it takes a lot of what? It takes a lot of stop losses before its original directional move. So looking at here, we can say here too is what? As a trend line liquidity, right? Price eventually taking liquidity stop losses before what? The up move. Eventually take the stop losses before what? The up move. So let's do live analysis on I think recently we have Nasdaq. Nasdaq is doing the same thing. Let's try and see if we can get yeah. I think Nasdaq is doing the same thing. So looking at Nasdaq here, we can here is 4 hours time frame, right? We can clearly see that we have this we have this trend liquidity here. Price eventually take, you see we break out from here, it eventually take liquidity, taking stop losses. So meaning that probability for price to push to the downside is very high. So price will start falling at this point because it takes liquidity. So liquidity grab here. We already break out from here. We take liquidity from here already. So probability for price to push to the downside is very high. Please try to mute yourself to avoid back noise. Try to mute yourself to avoid back noise. So price eventually take liquidity here. So probability for down move is very high. We can clearly see that from here to there is what? Okay, no problem. You can leave, you will get the video. You can clearly see that from here we have equal prices here. Price eventually take liquidity here before what? The down move, right? So from Nasdaq, we are expecting price to start falling from here. We are already in trade, we saw here. So we are targeting the next low. Our TP is around this area. We saw here, our stop loss is about this P level. We take a sell trade here. then price is coming down. So we expected price to create another low before it went back to what? Retracement. So if you are not in, you can switch your time frame to 1 hour time frame. You can clearly see that there is what? A trend liquidity here. So you can just expect price to come back to this key level before you join. This is what the sellers, the basement of sellers. So you can just expect price to come back. If you are not in, you can just expect price to come back to this area before what? We start selling from here, right? So these are the types, these are all about what? Liquidity. So we are expecting price to come back here, then we start what? Selling from here. If you have any question, you can ask right now. Mr. Ebenezer, do you have any question?
Oh, please.
Do you have any question? I can't hear you.
No, sir, I don't have any question.
Okay, Mr. Gray TZ, do you have any question? Mr. Gray, do you have any question? Okay, Mr. What is your name? Is it Lord or what? Do you have any question?
No, please.
Okay. Then Mr. Post, do you have any question?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, meaning that you all get to understand of all what is about the liquidity.
Yes, sir.
It's very simple. The thing is that trading is very simple, but trading is very easy. But it's I don't know how to say. It's all a matter of what? Patience. If you don't have patience, and if you are in need of what? Quick money, you will always will borrow account. If you're able to follow, even if you don't have anything, if you're able to follow the liquidity and then the market structure and the candlestick patterns, I think you can really improving your winning trade. So we will end here. We will talk about how to trade liquidity the following week. Because
Sir, hello, sir.
I'm listening.
You record the lecture, sir?
Yeah, I recorded.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So we will end here and we continue the next week. May God bless you all for joining me here. Have a very nice day. Goodbye.